Well, good morning and welcome to Cindy's Kitchen. All right, so let's get started. So today is National Pierogi Day, and pierogies come from mostly the Slavic nations. And a pierogi is basically kind of like a dumpling. And every culture has dumplings, right? And this is a stuffed dumpling. Now, if any of you were so excited that I was going to make homemade pierogies, you will be sadly disappointed. I am so sorry. But to make homemade pierogies, you got the dough, and then you got the stuffing, and then when all that's done, you have to boil them, and then when that's done, you have to saute them in butter. I'm just not so certain that I can get all that done on one show. And I don't know that I want to, because how easy is it to go to the store and get a box of pierogies out of the frozen food section? And you know how I like dump recipes. We're using frozen. So this is what I'm using. Now the brand is called Mrs. T's. It's just the brand that I says, oh, hey, Randy, good to see you too. And I like these little minis. Now you can get the bigger size. It's not an issue. But this is what a pierogi looks like. So it's a half moon shape. It's a pasta, so you would make a homemade pasta, roll it out, and then the inside can be filled with potatoes. Now this one is filled with potatoes and 4 different kinds of cheese. But you can find them stuffed with potato and sauerkraut, and everybody's got their favorite on what kind of pierogies they are. Again, this is a mini. So another pierogi is probably going to be about that big. See? So a little bigger. But I like these. So that's what we got. I'm using the minis. I'm also using some Polish sausage. I just used a link. Now, you can use whatever kind of sausage that you have in the links. I'm not overly fond of like Eckrich, but I like to find a Polish sausage. And I like to find the ones that have a lot of garlic in them. But again, that's me. Okay, so that's what I'm doing. And I just cut them in circles. Now, why did I cut them in circles and not half? I know you're going to laugh at me because you know I like the perfect bite. Here's the pierogi. Here's the sausage. That's going to be a perfect bite. Don't you know that that is my perfect bite right there? With this, I'm going to use a jarred, already made Alfredo sauce. Now, homemade Alfredo sauce isn't hard to make. It's not, but this is another one of those dump recipes. And so here you go. We're gonna make the dump recipe. The first thing we're gonna do is thin out our Alfredo sauce, okay? This is a 16-ounce jar of Alfredo sauce, and this is enough to make a 9 by 13. I'm making 2 smaller ones, and I'll show you my bowls in just a second. Now, I'm gonna use a half a cup of milk to thin this down. And here's what I'm going to do. I mean, just a little trick. You sure probably all know this, okay? I'm going to put the half a cup of milk back in my jar. Put the lid back on and give it a shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake, shake, shake. Shake your milk, because it's milk and Alfredo. Shake your milk. Okay, so we've shaken it up. What that should be able to do is to get most all of the Alfredo sauce that's still clinging inside to our jar. And we're gonna thin out our Alfredo sauce. See, look, empty. I'm gonna use my new spoon. Look at my new spoon. Ooh, ah. And so we're just gonna mix this together. The whisk would have been easier, but I needed to use my bamboo spoon. Now, so you see what the consistency is. It's not as thick as it was, but that's okay. Because we have got the gluten from the pierogi dough on the outside, all right? There's potato inside, so there's that. And we're gonna add some mozzarella cheese. And so between the gluten that normally would come off of this when it boils, because we're not boiling these, we're just putting them in, and the cheese, our sauce is gonna be just fine. But here's what I'm gonna use. I'm gonna make 2 of them, and I'm gonna use, I don't have my, oh, here it is. Hold on, oh. Okay, this is a, and I'm doing this because I want to show you. This is a 10, inside is 10 by 7, okay? And I've got 2 of them. Okay, so here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna take our I'm gonna use 2, you can use 1. But you can put 1, especially if you're by yourself, you can make 1 of these, or there's 2 of you. Make 1 of these and bake it. Put the other one, because you know polished pottery goes in the freezer. Wrap it all up, put it in the freezer, and then, you know, you got it for another day. It would last at least a couple of weeks. Okay, so I'm just gonna put 2 spoonfuls of our sauce in the bottom of our dishes. And again, if you're making it and you have a bigger family, then maybe you only, I'm gonna use my spoon to, maybe you only do this in a big 9x13, so you don't need 2 dishes. There you go. All right. So again, I'm just spreading it so that there's a little pillow. This is the mattress under the bed, okay? All right. So we got that done. Now, I'm gonna start with the layer of pierogies. All right, so I'm gonna put this away and pull this forward so you can see. And I'm just gonna layer, hopefully you can see. All these are, this is just, let's see. This has 28 pierogies and it's about 13 ounces in the frozen food section. And so I'm just gonna layer these. Let me pull. Now I have 2 boxes because I've done this with the bigger ones, but not necessarily the smaller ones. So I didn't know if I was gonna need 2 boxes. Okay, so you can see I've got the whole bottom layer of pierogies. Look, this time I'm just gonna dump. All right, so I have a layer there. Now I'm gonna put a layer of my sausage. This is just a Polish sausage. I did pick one that has garlic. And again, it depends on how neat and tidy you wanna make this. Wholly up to you, okay? If you wanna be all neat and tidy, you can certainly do this. This is just 1 ring of sausage, okay? Yeah, you definitely need 2 packages. Again, like I said, you can do this in a 9x13, or, you know, if it's just you, just do 1. All right, and there we go. And any kind of sausage is good, so you're okay with that. All right, now to this, we have got shredded mozzarella cheese. I'm gonna put some shredded mozzarella on there. Okay, I'm gonna go ahead and put, because I have 2 boxes, I'm gonna go ahead and put another layer of pierogies on here. Again, this time I'm gonna be a little willy-nilly about it, because you know, it's supposed to be a dump, and it goes a lot faster if you're only making 1. All right, so here we go, pierogies on the top. Come on out, babies. All right, now we're gonna take the rest of our Alfredo sauce that we thinned with a little milk, right? You know what you can do? Watch this. Watch this. Hide and watch this. Hold on. I'm gonna do it this way. Ha 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 ha. And then I'm just gonna pour this over the top, okay? La 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 la. Okay, now I gotta do this to get the rest of the rest. All right. La. Okay, then the last thing I'm gonna do is put a little bit more shredded cheese on the top. Okay, so I've got cheese on top. You wanna put some parm on there, you certainly could, but that's all I'm doing. These are going in the oven, 350 degrees. I'm gonna leave them in there for about 30 minutes, okay? Here we go. Now, we have to have a dessert. Don't we need a dessert? Yes, say yes, Cindy, we need a dessert. So we are gonna make Piernik. Anybody ever had Piernik? Okay, so what is a Piernik? Now, it's gonna look like, it's gonna smell like a gingerbread cake. So, the name Pierna, P-I-E-R-N-A, Pierna, means spices in Old Polish. It typically refers to a Polish spiced cake. But just like gingerbread can be either a cake or cookies, so can Piernik. So Piernik could be a spiced cookie or a spiced cake. Interestingly enough, even though it looks and smells like a gingerbread cake, Piernik actually has a lot of spices, but no ginger. Oh, I know, right? Okay, so let's get started. So we need a pot. In our pot, we are gonna put a half a stick of butter. Then we're gonna put in a half a cup of sugar. There we go, half a cup of sugar. In we go. Look, look, kiwi, yum. Okay. We're gonna need some honey, and we need a half a cup of honey. Oh, I'm squeezing a half a cup of honey. Okay, there we go. This is honey. This is from a honey farm in Texas somewhere. I don't know where, but there you go. All right, a half a cup of honey. Here we go, orange marmalade. This is just a store-bought brand orange marmalade, okay? And we're gonna need 2 tablespoons, I'm just gonna set this here, 2 tablespoons of orange marmalade. Yum. And look at that, it's got the rind in it. It's yummy, yummy. 2 tablespoons. I did 2 generous tablespoons, but that's wholly up to you. I'm gonna use the spatula to make sure I get all the good yumminess out of there. Now, we're gonna put this over a low heat, well, low to medium. And now you're gonna need your bob. Get out your bob, ladies and gentlemen. Your big old bowl, big old bowl. We are going to start off with, in our big old bowl, a cup and a half of flour. Just AP flour is fine. To this, we're gonna add a teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon, look, the fishy. No, nobody's had it. Okay, teaspoon of baking powder, a teaspoon of baking soda. So 1 of each, teaspoon of each one of them. Baking soda, remember, is in, okay, baking soda, baking powder. Now, here's the thing you're gonna say, too many spices. But come on, let's branch out. It'll be fine. A 1/4 teaspoon of salt, I just pinched. Then we're gonna need a teaspoon and a half of cinnamon. And this is my Saigon cinnamon that I'm using, okay? We're gonna use a teaspoon of, a half a teaspoon of nutmeg, a half a teaspoon of allspice. I always joke, if you have allspice, why do you need all the rest of them? Isn't it all the spices? No. All right, and then the last thing we're gonna add is, and this is just 1/8 of a teaspoon, so you'd think to leave it out, but it smells really good. 1/8 of a teaspoon of ground cardamom. Cardamom is used like in chai tea. I've never made any Scandinavian dishes, Gail, but it's used in a lot of Indian dishes. And so that like an Indian chai tea, that's all in there. All right, get out your Danish batter whisk or whatever, right? Get out a regular whatever. And we're just gonna mix our flour and our spices all together. Okay, our stuff is melting. Melting, I tell you. See, look, we have our sugar, we have our orange marmalade, we have our butter. Ooh, look at all that. Okay, we're gonna need a half a cup of milk, just regular old milk. And to this, I'm gonna add 2 eggs. 2 eggs. You can do this separately, but, or you can put the eggs in first. That's fine, doesn't really matter. I just always stick them in the measuring cup. Okay, so see, we mixed our egg and our milk. La 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 la. Okay, add your egg and your milk into your big old bowl with your spices and your flour, okay? We're gonna give this a toss. Okay, that's what we got. Look, look, look. Yum, yum, yum. Saigon cinnamon, Carmel, is, it's just another type of cinnamon. And so it tends, for me and for Joanne, the smell is just incredible. And I think it is a richer flavor. But if you do any research online, it'll tell you that it's not as spicy. That that other cinnamon is more spicy, and that may be, but I think it gives it just a wonderful sweet, and the flavor is just bigger. That's just me. See, it's all melted, I tell you. All right, here we go. Here's our bowl. We already mixed this up, right? Now we're gonna add. Can you see? Can you see? Can you see? I'm gonna add my butter. Honey, orange marmalade, and what else did I put in here? Butter, hold on, butter. Oh, sugar, idiot. Of course we put sugar in here. You can see the orange peel from the orange marmalade, which is really exciting. Okay, I'm just gonna get the rest of that out of there. Set that aside and mix that all up. All right, here we go. This is our batter. This is the size we're using. You can either butter it and then flour it, or you can use a flour-based spray, which is what I'm gonna do. All right, so I'm gonna spray the inside of this. Okay, here we go. Ready? We're just gonna pour in. Look at the lovely yumminess. This does smell like fall. La, 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 la. I can see the little pieces of orange from the marmalade, and that makes me happy. Orange and spices. It's gonna be a very warm feeling cake. Okay, there we go. Bye-bye. Now look at it. Now you see how close that is to the top? Look, it's got like maybe a ½ inch. Not very much. And you're gonna say, oh, Cindy, that's gonna go over the top. I'm gonna tilt, look at this. Do you do this? Once you get a cake into a pan, if you take your hand, you can do this. You can bang it on, but I end up just doing this. If you take your hand and beat the bottom of it, just, you know, gently, you release any air bubbles that's in your batter, and so then your cake is denser. It doesn't have those bubbles in it. This is gonna go in the 350-degree oven for about 50 minutes. And I will tell you that it is a pretty batter. It's golden, and you gotta stick the toothpick in and let it come out clean. So, but it's about 50 minutes, okay? All right, so in the oven, we're gonna go. I gotta slide it in between the pierogies. Whoops. Hold on, hold on. I gotta move the pierogies a little bit. I can't get, there we go. I know, oh, okay. I almost spilled it. I almost spilled it, did you know that? All right, here's what we got. It did a little dip right here, but here's what we got. Isn't that pretty? It didn't go over the top. You see that? It didn't go over the top. It's a perfect little size. I think this is a perfect little size because I obviously have more than one of this size too. La, la, la. Okay, now we could taste this just like it is. That being said, we're not doing that. We're gonna make a glaze. Now, where is my, here we go. All right, let's make a glaze, shall we? We need how much? A ½ cup of powdered sugar, confectioner's sugar, okay? Look at this. You guys are gonna be jealous. My Polish pottery friends, you're gonna be so jealous. Are you ready? Monet pattern. I got something. I got a bowl in the Monet pattern. I was so lucky. Anyway, okay. So we have a ½ cup of powdered sugar, otherwise known as confectioner's sugar, right? And then we're gonna use a tablespoon. Where's my spoons? Spoons, spoons, spoons. Not here. Oh, okay. Hold on. I need a tablespoon though. Here, oh. This one. The tablespoon on the other end. Okay. I really should strain this because you know how I have problems with my cocoa. But, all right, cocoa. Unsweetened cocoa. A tablespoon of there we go. Unsweetened cocoa. See? There you go. Then we're going to put a tablespoon of butter. Hold on, I got to get the cow. Everybody say moo. 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 Okay, ready? Ta-da. There we go. All right, I'm going to use a tablespoon of butter. I'm guesstimating. You always have to be careful when you use the cow, because if somebody ate toast and they got that on there, that would be bad. I'm going to need a pretty, I know. Or I'm going to have to share it. Okay, so I got that, and I'm going to need a tablespoon of boiling water. That's cold. Hold on. We got to get hot water. It says boiling. Moo boo. Moo, moo. I know. Okay, so we're getting a tablespoon of boiling water. We're not actually boiling water, we're just running the sink because I get really hot water out of the sink. So I have to tell you how I picked this recipe. So when I was making this, when I was trying to decide, because if you're gonna, it's International Pierogies Day, you need to make pierogies. Okay, let me see how hot that is. That's not hot enough. It's gotta be hotter. It's gotta be boiling water, so. Anyway, so when I was trying to decide, I knew I had to make something with pierogies, so then I wanted a Polish dessert. And so, I don't know if it was a year ago or 2 years ago, I bought this from Rebecca, and it's called The Best of Polish Cakes. And so, I wanted to use one of the recipes out of here. The problem was, I kept finding ingredients like 3 tablespoons of wheat flour, and 3 tablespoons of potato flour. And then here's one, a double packet of vanilla sugar. I had to look up what vanilla sugar was, okay? So there you go. Okay, so a tablespoon of boiling water, okay? I'm just gonna use, hold on, let me get another spatula. Okay, so here we go. We have a tablespoon of butter. I gotta mix this. That boiling water was supposed to melt your butter because that's room temperature butter, but I don't know if the water was hot enough to melt the butter. We will see, won't we? Maybe. Oh, but look at this. It's already starting to look chocolate. Oh, yes, 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 yes. All right. So now this is just a glaze. It's not a frosting. You have that cookbook too, Joanne. What have you made out of it? Has anybody made any of the stuff out of there? Because there's a couple of recipes I want to try, but I had to look up what vanilla sugar was. You know, a packet of vanilla sugar. I don't know that I've ever seen a packet of vanilla sugar. But what it is, I saw, it's sugar. It's just like, they call it castor sugar, which is just granulated sugar. And, oh, Tracy, you found it. Okay, well, maybe I just need to look harder. I mean, it's not like I ever looked for it before. But it's just got it's got vanilla in it. And so I was like, I wonder, could you just use sugar and actual vanilla? And I don't know the answer. So anyway, all right. So all you're doing is getting out all the little lumpies in my beautiful Monet bowl. Monet. All right. So then we're going to take our cake. Can you see the cake? Can you see the lovely cake? It's also on Amazon. Okay. I have an old Watkins cookbook that calls for 5 cents of macaroni for a recipe. I love that. 5 cents of macaroni. Today you would get no macaroni, right? No macaroni for you. All right. Oh, so again, this is not a frosting. This is a glaze. Oh, you can look. I didn't melt all the butter. It's fine. It'll be fine. And so we're just gonna lightly coat. So it's not a huge amount that's gonna be on here because again, glaze. We're not doing an inch of frosting. But, you didn't want to do this glaze. You want an inch of frosting. You can do that. And I didn't pick chocolate, although I'm very happy that it called for chocolate. The recipe did. Anyway, so that's why I didn't make a recipe out of that cookbook. I really wanted to. But there were so many of the ingredients that I just didn't know what they were. I had never made this either. You can make vanilla sugar. Do you serve anything with the pierogies if they're a meal? A good salad, is what I would do. Vanilla beans scraped into regular sugar, just let it set. Canada has pumpkin spice mac and cheese. Gross! Oh, that's nasty. I can't even imagine. Yucky, blah. Okay, look at that. Look how beautiful that is. Yummy, 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 yummy. Okay. Now, that being said, hold on. All right, that being said, I'm gonna set this aside and we're gonna go get our pierogi bake out of the oven. Broccoli salad is good to serve it with. Casey, that's a good idea. So you guys, if you have something else with pierogies, share what you think you would do. I'm eating the rest of the glaze. Bye, Joanne. See you later, honey. Oh, the glaze. The glaze is quite delightful. Of course, you know, powdered sugar, cocoa, and butter. How can it not be delightful? Look at that. By magic, a hand appears, and there is the pierogi bake. I'm going to put you down. Look at that. I'm going to lift it up so you can see. You see how it's boiling? You got the little bubbles all on the edge. The cheese is melted. There we go. All right, I'm going to get a little bowl. And then we're going to dish. Look, let's use our heart bowl. Aww, it matches my apron. Look at that, hearts. Everybody do hearts. Hello, I love you. Okay, my little heart bowl, and I'm gonna dig in, okay? I'm gonna dig in. Oh, yum, yum. Oh, look, can you see the cheese? Look at that. Oh, we don't think that that's awful at all, do we? Yummy cheese. Oh my, look at that. All right, look. So good. All right, I'm gonna use a spoon. You certainly could use a fork. You could use a fork, but I'm gonna use a spoon. All right, this is gonna be way hot. You know that it is. So I'm gonna get my perfect bite, which is gonna be a piece of sausage and a pierogi. But I hopefully am not gonna have cheese stringing all the way from my mouth, right? Okay, we have to blow. I don't wanna die. That would be bad. Or burn my tongue and then I can't taste anything. I was really kind of hoping to have leftover tortellini and meatball soup the other day and there was none left. How sad is that? Boo-hoo. Okay, we ready? Okay. It's a big bite. It's a big bite. Should I cut it in half? Okay, just don't look. I'm gonna cut it in half. Because you guys, come on. I know that you don't care if I look like a cow chewing over here, but I kind of don't want you to see me looking like a cow chewing over here. Okay, so there you go. If I was a good person, I would take this out and get a knife and cut it, but watch this. Okay, wow, that is still hot. Ow, ow, burning my fingers. Okay, there we go. A half a pierogi and a half a sausage. You got the cheese, the wonderful potato, the yummy sausage, because I got garlic sausage, and then that fantastic Alfredo sauce and mozzarella cheese covering everything. To die for. Must make this. Must make that. All right, let's get a piece of cake. Get a pretty plate. It's got to be hot. Yeah, I know. Get a pretty plate. Let's get our knife. And we'll cut a piece. I'm trying to decide, do I want a really big piece? Why not? Yum-y. Look at that. Look. You see the sides? Look at that. Okay, on our pretty plate. Look at that. Look how big it is. See how it popped up? All right. We're gonna need some vanilla ice cream. You wanna try the cake, Casey? Okay. Hey, Laurie. Here we go. Look, here's my fork. Look how tall it is. Can you see? It's very tall. Okay. All the way down we go. So I've never tasted this before. This is all a brand new thing. It is a taste that falls somewhere between a spice cake and a gingerbread, in my mind. It's got more spice than a spice cake, but less than a gingerbread. It's dense. So it's not as dense as like a pound cake, but it's much denser than like, I don't know, like a box cake or, just when you're making a yellow cake. The chocolate on top is necessary. It's like, it just makes the whole, you taste the cake, but then the chocolate hits you and it brings the whole thing together. So, yummy. This is a repeat. I'm making this again for the fall because the whole kitchen smelled like fall. It smells delightful. All right. So, we had our Piernik, which is like a Polish spice cake, and our sausage and pierogi bake. I hope you enjoyed today, and I hope you got some ideas. Maybe it will encourage you to try new things. I don't know. From my kitchen to yours, may your International Pierogi Day be lovely. And we will see you again on Saturday at 11 o'clock. Have a great one. Bye-bye.